The Spin-Off Podcast Network.
This is Kiwi is back for a brand new season with more inspiring kōrero from special guests including rugby player, father and role model TJ Perenara.
My family bring me joy. Rugby brings me joy too, but it's not the same joy as my family brings me.
And global dancer and choreographer Kirsten Dodgen.
For some reason, people think I'm very intimidating.
Listen to the new season of This is Kiwi, brought to you by the Spin-Off Podcast Network in collaboration with KiwiBank. Available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Kia ora, I'm Duncan Grieve, founder of The Spin-Off. You can help us keep all of The Spin-Off's award-winning journalism free for everybody by becoming a member today at thespinoff.co.nz/donate.
I thought it was interesting both weeks featured a mouse.
Oh my God, I did too.
And both died?
Well, I don't know, there's TBC on the block mouse. Fucking stupid jobs.
Kia ora koutou, welcome to The Real Pod. This is your reality television and popular culture in Aotearoa podcast featuring me, Alex Casey, Kia ora, Duncan Grieve,
Kia ora.
Te Kohe Butler,
Tēnā koe, Alex.
and we're missing someone.
We are. There's an empty chair. We're empty chairing. Like it's a Senate hearing and they didn't show.
We did briefly have a beagle sitting here in Jane's spot
Got the cans on briefly.
last week, but then he went awry. We're doing a bit of pre-recording at the moment because there's a bit of holidaying happening.
Yeah.
Duncan, you're off.
I'm jetting to Goldie. I'm going to try and find Mitch. That is what...
Yeah.
Mitch from...
This is a work trip.
Basically.
Yeah.
But Mitch from Married at First Sight, I want to see that man do some nude handstand push-ups somewhere.
I hope that when you just get off the plane at, I assume, the Goldie airport, that's what greets you.
I think that's probably their version of, like the Lord of the Ringsy dragons in Wellington. They've just got like a giant nude mechanised Mitch, just 10 metres tall, just hulking out.
I look forward to that. And I hear you going anywhere?
No, I'll still be here. By the time people listen to this, I'll
Yeah.
probably be in this exact same seat.
That's great.
Yeah.
And I'm going to WOW. It won't affect the pod records, but I just think it's important to raise awareness.
You I was going to say you were early on the WOW train, but were actually incredibly late. But I do...
I'm early for someone who's not 55.
That's true. You're not a silver surfer.
I'm just getting in there. And they're not even doing bizarre bras this year, would you believe it?
Well, how chaste of them.
Anyway, this is all to say, if anything crazy happens in the next few days and we miss some news, it's because we're time travelling. We're recording this on a Friday morning.
This is I can't tell whether we're in the past or the future right now.
No.
But we've never been so far from the present.
I think that's true of us today and every day. Coming up on the podcast, we've got the opening of the monolith on Celebrity Treasure Island, the unmasking of the penguin on The Masked Singer. But first, I think we've got some real news.
Have we ever had so much big breaking real news, especially given that it was a short week for real news because we real newsed it 3 days ago?
Yeah.
I think we have to lead off with some real news from Te Kohe Butler.
Butler Mania has struck Tamaki Makoto again.
Huge night for Te Kohe last night. I played in Daylight / The Spin-Off's Battle of the Ads band.
And Siska.
And Siska, you should care about, Aromai. And it's as buzzy as it sounds. It was a packed gig at Galatos, just off K Road.
For the Battle of the Ad Bands, BOTAB.
For BOTAB.
This is a big deal, right, in the industry.
Huge in the ad industry, so I've come to learn. And we fucking won. We won the Battle of the Bands.
That's
just
amazing.
Casually strolls in, emerges with the W. 8-piece band? Do I have that correct?
8-piece band.
Wow.
Super, as indulgent as it gets, but also I think it was all 8 pieces contributed in equal fashion. It's also why I sound like
James Earl Jones this morning.
Great reference. Don't know who that is, but I love it.
Totally shocked.
And you were up against the Ferndale Strangler,
He was there.
who was also on the drums, like
He was
you were.
strangling the drumstick.
And Props Boy.
Props Boy didn't have a mask on. I didn't know what to make of it.
Right. So it could have been anybody.
Could have been anybody, but I suppose that's his whole shtick.
Yeah.
They were great. There were some really great bands. Everybody was living out their best adult smoke-free rock quest lives.
Yeah.
It was the school of rock made manifest.
I love it. I've seen some clips, and you bring the thunder. All of you are like giving it everything. It's beautiful.
I think you could tell how many hours we put into rehearsals. We rehearsed so much.
Did you rehearse more for Botab or Motomori Quartet?
Botab, 100%.
That is amazing. That's actually breaking news.
Yeah.
No.
Stuart, if you're listening, in 4 days from now, get that on a live update.
It was so great. They're such lovely, wonderful, talented human beings in that band and across at Daylight. Congratulations to the whānau. It was so good.
What did you win? Trophy?
There's a trophy, which I think Kyle's bringing into the Daylight office today. A big
ticker tape parade, I imagine.
Surely. A big poster.
There could be Phil Goff's last act as mayor is to order a day off
Another one.
for Daylight
Yeah.
I hope
and
so.
a ticker tape parade.
I hope so. There's a whole bunch of random shit. I don't know. There's like free car hire for something. And so a smorgasbord of random things that I can only presume the ad industry have just kind of like scrounged the bottom of the...
We do know how to scrounge.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. Meanwhile, Duncan, car on fire outside your house.
Yeah, night lit, if you will.
That's what you were doing.
Well, no, I wasn't doing it, to be clear. Don't arrest me, Mr. Police.
Or Mrs. Police. Or Ms. Police.
Well, that's true. Okay, so last night, came home, honestly, a little lit, and went to bed, 10:30ish, respectable. Wake up at 10:30 and there's a really loud car alarm. At 2:30, really loud car alarm. Vivian, and I go outside, I think it might be our car alarm. It's not. No, that's fine, some asshole, whatever. Vivian comes in being like, there's a fire on the street outside, which is like a persistent nightmare of hers. Oh, no. And I was like, oh, no, I'm an annoying kid being like full of shit again. Go out. There's a fucking car on fire out front. And we have to call the fire brigade at 2:30 in the morning, suburban Mount Albert.
Wow.
The crime wave, it's here, it's real. So more information as it comes to hand. I don't know a lot more than that, but very dramatic, very hard to get back to sleep, very tired.
Again, Stuart. 4 days from now.
I've actually got some great footage. I was like, oh, that's going to be...
Put that up on the site.
Yeah.
What's your gut feeling? What was the vibe?
I've got two theories. One is some kids joyriding and really, want to just sort of cap it off with luckily, they torched the bonnet, so it didn't get back to the fuel tank, which from all of the 80s action movies I've seen is when it go boom. And then my other theory, which I kind of like more just from a narrative perspective, is wife discovers husband's cheating and goes out and tortures his whip.
Wow.
So, that does feel more Mount Albert somehow.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot of long-established relationships in Mount Albert. A lot of fury if that shit goes south.
Oh, my gosh. The Golden Triangle.
Yeah.
Horror. Jeepers creepers. Well, I saw another man with a flappy shoe. This is my big news.
This is a very deep cut.
This is a very deep cut. If you've not been listening to this podcast for 7 years.
That was like the 2017...
It was the TV Awards.
TV Awards.
The night that Zach and Aaron, I think, shacked up. People say.
They whisper
Historic for many reasons, but we famously saw a man whose the sole of his shoe had become unstuck from his shoe, and he was walking in such a way.
He was real plotting
it.
He was real,
and he was trying to act normal.
Real plotting.
Businessman in the CBD, just flapping up a storm. We were beside ourselves. We haven't really spoken of anything else since.
No, it stayed with me as this kind of weird metaphor for something. Because we were stuck in traffic, taking the world's shortest Uber, not really knowing where we're going. And so we watched this thing happen past us. It's really affected us. But you've seen another...
I saw another in Britomart.
Was he flapped so
precinct. Hard? He was... Well, it was in the... So it was graduation day.
Do we explain exactly what a flappy shoe is?
I think I just did. The sole of his shoe becomes unstuck.
Half of it. And so
We have differing accounts of whether it was the front half of the sole or the back half.
I think,
Because I think it was the front half.
yes, agree.
Oh, okay. And it was
I think it's Jane who's a back halfer.
right back. Yeah. It's too bad we didn't get any CCTV or anything from the time. This could be a podcast. I've only started listening to Serial, by the way.
Wow.
I don't think that young man did it.
Really? Have you finished it though?
No.
Okay.
It's a good podcast.
This is amazing.
Joe, if you're listening. 2014.
Wow.
Anyway, again, he was carrying himself with just the same dignity and the same, like, let's just not think about this. Let's not look at this. I'm just going to walk.
Yeah.
Walk hard.
The flappy shoe story. Great.
And that was also the same day that my beloved Joe graduated with a Master's of Education and First Class Honours. And more crucially, I saw Lynette Forte in Morningside with a big straw hat, giving it hell, walking hard, yet again.
Shoe flappy?
Shoe tight as.
Caftan, no caftan.
No caftan, but big straw hat, which I think we saw on the show. So what an omen. Just thrilling at the moment.
It really is. Yeah, there's an electricity in the air at around Morningside right now. It crackles. It doth crackle.
And that's kind of it, I think, for the real news. Anything else?
Well, I've got a big apology and correction, but I think we can probably start the reality check portion.
Oh, it's to do with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This feels like a potential new segment, like apologies and amendments.
Yeah.
I think I actually did that for a while.
We did. We did have a rough patch.
Oh, I mean, it's been one big rough patch, if you ask me. I'm kind of keen to get to the smooth patch.
All right. Reality check.
I have 4 weeks to decide I'm going to drop my entire life thing.
I am disgusted at how much you have copied my husband.
This is bad. You don't even
Reality check.
Do we want to begin with
I think
the
so.
apologies? Okay.
Yeah. So this is an email from Nikki Grief,
Okay.
my beloved. Hi, Duncan. 19 minutes ago. Just wanted to submit these corrections from the last episode. My theory about the block auctions wasn't that I thought they might not sell and the contestants would be underwater and potentially owe Warner Brothers money. I just thought the houses may not reach their reserve at auction, and if it wasn't live, it would give them a few weeks to negotiate with the bidders and possibly reach a sale before the show aired. I also didn't figure out that there's some quite shady air quotes there. The block auctions weren't live. There were numerous stories about it in the media. Many thanks for clarifying. I should further clarify that I talk about
She did figure it out still. That she did it.
by reading it on the screen. Yeah, that's true. It's more figuring out than I've done. Whenever I talk about Nikki on this podcast, she's one of our most devout listeners. I don't think I've ever correctly characterized, and I talk all the time, I've never once been correct in terms of what I've said. I've always mangled it, and not just a small trivial thing, like quite a large thing, which makes me wonder about the reality I inhabit as a person. So apologies, Nikki, and that's just a kind of it's a throw forward to any time I mention her name or really talk about anything. Just take it with like a 5 kg bag of Cerebos, you know? And that's me.
That's good. I think we could get some. What kind of music would you play under like an apology? Is it like in memoriam?
Yeah, slow strings.
Simply Red or something like that. Yeah. Tēnā koe, Nikki. What a crisp email.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love
it's
the
good.
hi, Duncan. So loaded.
Figured out.
Yeah, it's freighted with menace, eh? It's got a Hello Newman kind of vibe.
The Masked Singer.
Tell me about it.
It's
'cause I didn't
over.
watch it. Oh, really?
We'll ride on 2 counts. Holly Smith, Bedazzled Unicorn, Drew Nemia, Alligator Gladiator, and the mysterious blue penguin was Rhea Hall.
Oh.
Yeah. Which I'm embarrassed to say I did not know who she was when she took the head off.
Damn.
Yeah. But Clint did a very good job of heroing her and saying this is Māori music royalty.
And it is.
Rhea Hall. You watched Over My Shoulder.
And I recognised
Chambers.
her.
What did you think of the reveal?
Well, it was great. I thought it was great. I think Rhea Hall's fucking awesome.
Mm.
I didn't watch the program, so I really had no chance of guessing.
Bombard you with Blue Penguin clips throughout, and you did not.
You
guess.
did. I didn't pick it. But I think she's versatile enough that her voice, she would be able to be amazing while disguising her distinctive tone. Not to say that Holly Smith isn't versatile.
But her voice is so distinctive.
Yeah.
That was, I think, the only time I've ever known who someone was from their voice. Pretty good.
Including Nikki. I do take umbrage with having very successful present day musicians on this show. I know that they'd had Troy King last time, but I think isn't the point of The Masked Singer, it's kind of supposed to be a bit of a revival, a bit of a dredge. Like Drew Nemia is perfect.
Yes.
But I just don't like Holly Smith, Rhea Hall, these people are still out there making music.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't love it.
It also feels more special or more novelty when it's not somebody who is a musician.
Yeah.
And not a professional musician.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's either like Mikey Havoc, from the bowels of history, or Bridges, or Ironi Clark was incredible.
Amazing.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Or at the very least, you can have like one or two, but they're always going to win.
That's the thing.
So did she win the thing? I didn't watch it.
I watched it a bit out of order because I was zimming around just trying to.
So we don't know who won the Masked Singer. Is this your reality TV podcast?
No, I am Nikki. I am 98% sure that the Bedazzled Unicorn won. So congratulations, Holly Smith.
Okay, well done, Holly Smith.
Should we get into CTI?
Yes.
The monolith doth open. Do we want to start with that? Or do you have anything else to say before that? There was the Joel Courtney, the kind of fallout of Joel spotting Courtney having her little side chat.
But she was so well hidden.
She's so well hidden.
Directly behind him.
I do love Courtney's just unraveling, where she's like, am I a liar? Is this the game? Am I an idiot? Am I doing this right? I think she's so
She's
great.
so charming. This show, I've just written at the top of my notes, this show is so good with multiple exclamation marks. I think there's something about taking these famous people and really depriving them of things that after they get over, they sort of lose their cool and start getting in the game. They get very strange. And watching Court kind of go to pieces but sort of enjoy it is it's magic TV.
And seeing her conduct herself with quite a lot of confidence in the group situation. And then when she's alone with producers, she's just like, am I spinning yarns? What's going on?
Yeah, totally.
Really, really good. We got another rap, of course. We got a few raps this week from Mr. Doctor, sorry.
I normally have no time for the rapping from Joel, but actually this was excellent because they really pushed it to the level. And Cribby, just popping up, and does he say, is it CTI?
Oh, we're jumping way ahead here, but that's all right.
Oh, is that?
The music video. No, we had monolithic, so specific. I can't wait to see what's in it.
No, thank you. But the music video was outstanding.
It really was. I mean, they're getting bored.
Yeah.
And they're getting creative.
Yeah. Thank you.
It does just take me to the Air New Zealand. So, the put down that cheese melt. Remember that one? It gives me that.
Yeah.
It gives me that. But
at least this has like a $0 budget.
True.
Yeah.
That's true.
And Ron Cribb.
Jesse Tuke Hive Assemble.
Yes.
He's won.
He's won
the Treasure Island Games. He gets to crack open the monolith.
He can go back and rescue someone, come back and win. I'm about to describe something Nikki said, so this will be wrong. But she described him as like that kid who just is basically out in their driveway playing sports from like 3 p.m. till 9 p.m. with their brother forever. And he does have that kind of energy. Like he just seems like just a natural at kind of everything.
Yeah. And he respects zinc, as we've discussed.
Yes.
God, he respects zinc.
Really
And he
does.
listens to the real pod.
That's shocking.
Shout out, Jesse.
Hi, Jesse.
This is great. I'm just not going to absorb that information. He's also just, like, I feel like every season there's 2 or 3 people who are like, they're celebrities, they're cast on the show, and they are made to be on the show, and they sort of emerge as like kind of characters of this country. And I feel like Jesse is doing that before our eyes in a really big and profound way, and it's so fun to watch.
I was not prepared for the way the monolith was going to open. I was not prepared for this turny, whatchamacallit, ancient dial sort of thing. I want to know everything about the monolith. Where is it now? You know?
It does. Where is everything now?
Yeah, that's true.
Like, it's so everything. These are massive. Like, I don't understand how this show can be made.
Do you know what would look great inside that monolith? The Real Pod Museum.
Oh my
Imagine
God.
that. You turn the thing, it opens, and you go in there, and there's the icing. You know, there's the engagement ring. Yeah.
At the end of our toilet corridor.
At the end of the toilet corridor.
the
Casey
monolith.
Frank's bucket.
Casey Frank. Remember?
Slightly disappointing that there wasn't a real person inside it.
But it was a crazy reveal.
It was an insane reveal. When I
like-
saw the chest, I was like, no, what?
And then you open something, so the money's there, and you're like, so there's some people who are really going big and going free with their minds with this franchise. The odds of this like weird scumbag show from the early 2000s being revived and becoming kind of cultural taonga was very long. And now they're like, we owe it to the show to make it bigger and stranger and wilder and build monoliths and flip the game on its head to where the prize gets buried. Like, who is coming up with this stuff?
Burden this poor, lovely zinc-covered man with this giant secret.
And he's the perfect man to be burdened because he wears it so earnestly, you know?
And he spins a yarn and improvs bullshit reasons.
It was good.
Yeah.
Really well.
Yeah, so he said basically, I know things. You need to protect me. I can tell 2 other people. So you need to take me to the end. Genius.
When he was doing that, I was like, this cannot, no one's buying this. But they all bought it. I think it's because he's got this reputation as a straight shooter.
Yeah, and a turtle rescuer.
Man, but when you actually listen to what he said, there was just nothing in it. There was no content.
No.
Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Lots of film stuff for the filminist over
There
here.
was a lot. I was loving it. I was nodding along. Yeah.
I've heard of Lord of the Rings.
I reckon if he had decided to take Courtney on that romantic date, would have been completely different. The temperature of Kuaka coming back would have been hostile.
Yeah.
But because he made the great call to take Siobhan on the romantic date,
It was so
they were
romantic.
like, okay, he's for the team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We buy what he's putting down.
Yeah.
We got to protect him.
Such a good guy. Such a romantic overnight stay for those 2.
And the worst thing imaginable, like a free for removal caravan.
Yeah. And like a bath they pulled out of the tip, northern tip, and put it on
Did
top
not
of
clean.
No. It's rustic. And the full batch, I mean, you can see this is the place that can throw together a bachelor date, you know, with half an hour and a countdown voucher. Like, just cheese platters, grapes, let's go. Strawberry in the champagne, fluffy robes. I love them in those robes.
Yeah.
They just look so stupid.
And I like the fact that, like, Siobhan not only didn't try to ignore the romance of it, but was just like could not shut up about how romantic it was, how showmantic it was. Very funny.
Just absolutely loved it. And it was the next morning he set out. To be clear, if you haven't watched this show, what was inside the monolith was the prize money. There was $100,000 in a treasure chest, and it said, "Congratulations, traitor, you now have to bury this for the end of the game, to be dug up in 2 weeks' time." And so now Jesse has been burdened with deciding where he's going to bury it in this big sandy basin, and now knowing that and having to decide how much he tells his team. Great twist.
And then the stupid goggles that that they've whacked together and got so much mileage out of it. The cost per TV minute on those goggles is about 4 cents. And he's just wandering around like, why is it so funny? And then he buries the thing. I feel like he's going to know where it is once he, even though it's not close to a landmark. I mean, maybe the precise location is quite crucial. I don't know.
Yeah, he was kind of in ribbons. He had 10 minutes to decide. So he got led uphill down Dale by Brianna with the goggles, and then she said you got 10 minutes to decide in this giant sandy basin where you're going to bury it. And my thought was, just the middle?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you just go the middle?
But you mean like so that you can kind of triangulate?
Just go the middle. Yeah.
Too obvious.
Yeah.
Too
Yeah.
obvious for everybody,
Yeah.
I reckon.
But if he even has a few seconds advantage, he can just run straight there and.
But then if you're off by we're about
True.
2 meters apart now. If you're you might as well be 500 meters away.
True.
And everyone's gonna be watching him. So I don't know.
But they don't know that he knows where the treasure's buried yet. They only know
That's
over
true.
the Harry Potter.
That's true. That's true.
something
Harry Potter. Oh yeah. Well.
But yeah, he was trying to line it up with different. He's like the rocky spine and 2 degrees and all this stuff.
It was the perfect point in the show where they're in the midst of the unraveling to have a kind of weird chalice like that handed to you, but just a little thing. But love Brianna's duty to use the bush toilet. So New Zealand, no.
Yeah.
What other country would have that as a part of your television program? It's wanders up holding. So you've got a toilet roll and a set of repurposed goggles, and that's enough for. That's all you need, and a spade.
Yeah.
You get 10 minutes of TV out of that.
That was their whole arc.
Yeah.
So pretty much.
Wow.
Loves a bush toilet.
Loves a bush toilet. God, love Brianna.
Shut out, Brie.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, at wherever Camp Shimpala's, he's crushed a mouse to death overnight. Brutality.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of, this is man versus wild. This show is, they buried a possum last week.
Did they even talk about murdering a possum?
No.
I'm not remembering that.
They did a funeral, but they did not, they skimmed over cause of death.
And then it turned out TK murdered it. Right? Wasn't that just kind of casually revealed as an
I think somebody
aside?
mentioned that. And I'm wondering maybe they cut out the majority of it to avoid any kind of animal.
I think he might have grabbed it and just pulled it in tow. He's so strong,
He's so
as we now
strong.
know.
But there's surely 15 minutes of talking head footage of him.
Yeah.
I thought about my wife.
That was
My
what she
wife
What would have wanted me to do with this possum?
Rip its head off.
A normal human wouldn't have been able to.
Mortal Kombat style.
So we've had a crushed mouse, a murdered possum. We've seen a crab be speared.
Yeah.
Cribbo, watch out, rock cod. He's coming for you.
CTI.
CTI. Another reveal. We had the funny little cute Shim and Dame in the morning show.
Yeah.
Where Dame Sue's revealed that she suffers from claustrophobia and really struggled getting under that log, which I thought was really interesting. I did not really clock that in the moment.
No.
She said she was very panicked and just couldn't get under there.
Is it possible there's too much material to fit this in 3 nights a week, even though they're making 7 episodes a day?
They need to do a director's cut, just Dame Susan.
Yeah.
Just follow her.
Because this could basically be Celebrity Big Brother. I think if this was just happening full time, you'd definitely tune in your tea break.
Yeah. Oh no, that was it. And then Jesse headed to the monolith, went on his big amazing journey. There was a charity challenge that was just beer pong, noughts and crosses. You probably skipped past it.
Skip past that.
Did you watch?
Yeah, it was good.
It was actually quite interesting. I liked how Ron continues the motif of he was like, I could tell Karen was getting stressed because she's losing her eyes again.
Ron, I had no idea that he was a dead set Kiwi legend when he was an All Black. When you're in the All Blacks, you have to do this kind of omerta thing where you don't say anything interesting for the entirety of your career. Otherwise, you'll be cast out of the club. But man, that must have been hard for him to keep it in.
All those funny jokes. Busting out of him.
He wears a scarf.
He's a weapon.
He does wear a scarf.
With beer pong. Absolutely slays it as
Yeah.
well.
That feels like that's some, what do they call it? They've got some, court sessions.
Yeah.
You know about that?
Yeah.
That's where like they hold these mock trials after a series and a war. I think they've stopped doing them now, but they did them for decades. And then you'd be like, you've been sentenced for, too many knock-ons, 10 drinks, and like the coach does it. It's a real crazy culture.
Wow.
So I feel like that's where you learn your beer pong skills.
Definitely revealed who the partiers were. Joel, Karen, Ron were all given it hell. But Ron won. Jesse cracked open the monolith, had to bury it, revealed that he is the traitor in the original story that was read out at the start of the show. That kind of fucked with my mind a little bit.
I don't understand that.
I need a timeline. I need a Tenet-style explanation of the traveling through time and space there.
They're talking about the story that Joel did the voiceover for at the very beginning?
That a traitor found the treasure and buried it.
I didn't even remember it.
And now he's the traitor.
But
he was there at the start. But maybe he was always going to be the traitor.
Yeah.
Well, there was always going to be a traitor.
And was it always going to be? But surely not.
I don't know. It's just
lot.
so clever.
Can we talk about take down the big boys?
Yes.
And we talk about how we're taking down the big boys with poor little big boy Dylan sitting there going, am I a big boy?
The best boy of all.
You are a big boy.
You're an Olympian boy.
Yeah, real muscly legs.
Really muscly.
And it's a bit mean to talk about the big boys.
But he didn't know.
I know, but he should have known.
There's a lot to talk about the big boys.
You can just imagine looking down and going, I'm quite a big boy. Fuck. I actually almost cried. It was so intense.
Oh, Dylan, what a sweetheart.
Sweetie boy.
So he was left out of all the conversations, but they happened around him. That we're going to get rid of all the big boys.
Yeah.
Mom, am I a big boy?
Female body inspector.
Love him.
He is incredible.
While Jesse was off trying to decide where to bury the treasure, they had a team face-off to win a Cadbury Breakaway registered copyright trademark 2022 Boredom Buster.
The product integrations on this is just so like they're just here it is.
We're not even going to try and be cool about it.
No, it's cool. It's like whereas like you contrast with the block where they're like, oh, our listing's gone up on realestate.co.nz. Yeah. Oh, look at the this is so horrible.
Marie, can you let me into your house using the Yale keyless app? So they were competing for a big old bunch of chocky, boogie boards, chess, darts. Good old pigskin.
Darts would actually be
real
funny. If this was 80s, they would definitely be a huge basket of 200 cartons of cigarettes furnished by our friends at Benson and Hedges. And everyone's got like two at a time. Oh man, I want to see Celebrity Treasure Island in the 80s.
The B&H Boredom Busters.
Yeah.
Like a big lion brown party pack and everyone gets to swap it. Damn.
Oh, dear. They had to do a big equation with big blocks. I wasn't really following how they got to the big equation.
I fast-forwarded that. It was too weird.
They put Joel up against Melody to do the equation. Dr. Joel failed a few times. Melody started cheating off him, and then Joel won. The only other major thing I wrote down from this is that it was cool how Dylan was wearing like a tradies polo, like a high-vis worksite long sleeve polo. I don't know if he just got that off like Crew or...
Dylan, so many layers and mysteries, but also none.
Thingy buried the treasure. We know where that went. Somewhere northwest as the crow flies along the spiny ridge. He's definitely going to remember that in 2 weeks' time.
That's right. Or 3 days.
I feel like Jesse knows the sand.
Yeah.
You know? Like he was doing equations to see if, how much sand would blow and where would it blow. Like that man knows a beach and he knows the outdoors.
Yeah.
And I think it could come in handy.
I think knowing where you literally buried the treasure is potentially helpful, yeah.
Agree to disagree.
He's also, correct me if I'm wrong, Jesse, but he is from the Bay of Islands. He grew up in Kirikiri, so he's got
Shoot five. Okay, post-game, Elvis mutters to Siobhan that she's got a target on her back. Don't know where that came from.
Does she?
I don't know. I don't know if Elvis is just being like weird or...
I think Elvis is definitely being weird and enjoying that. I mean, everyone is just becoming their natural CTI self at the moment.
Yeah.
You're cool. It's gone. You left it there on like day 5 or something.
Yeah, true. We got like a big sponsored kind of sexy voiceover Cadbury Breakaway segment. The losing team had to put up a new captain, so they had to decide who wants to step up.
The swing vote courting of the Mel versus Cam thing. I'm like, Cam, he's another breakout star.
He's stepping into his potency right now. And it's because of all the chocolate. This is what I think. Oh no, he was on the losing team.
Yeah, so it's not because of all
Maybe
the
just proximity to the chocolate. We know he loves chocolate. They tried to, I loved it when Dave and Cam cornered poor Schmitty again. Poor Dylan Schmidt on a rock.
I know.
And Dave was just like, okay, here's what we're going to do. I think Cam is better, blah, blah, blah. Or did she want Mel? I forget.
No, it was Cam. But, like, you know, like, but the way that they called it him, and it was just like, oh, we think you should vote. And he's like, okay.
Yeah. Oh, we love him. Meanwhile, TK's boogie boarding with the Cadbury Breakaway boogie board straight into some rocks.
Oh.
But he's not like other men.
incredible threshold for pain.
Incredible. He's got his legs broken in 3 places.
To be fair, like, based on what we come to see, I don't know if it's not true.
True. That's true. Karen's passing around the pigskin with the cribby.
And, I mean, she was sort of acting like it was her first go-round, but she had game. I was impressed.
Good to see them having fun. Then they had the captain's vote with that bizarre machine, which made no sense.
Why make an extra machine? You've already had a voting machine. What is these crafts people? Is it like Santa's elves? Like, what? Who is making all this stuff? Like, how many of them are there? You're so amazing. How did you acquire those skills? What do you do when CTI wasn't on for 15 years? I need more answers.
Do they have an Etsy store?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't get it. So the ball goes in. You go, Siobhan, put the ball in. But then you spin it around. And the ball doesn't come out again.
No.
I'd love to see a cross-section of it, eh? It's like Siobhan's one has a channel that when it's facing straight upwards, it runs down and then pivots to Siobhan's little nook in the front. And then you spin to Melody's one, and then it has a nook that pivots in another direction. I don't understand how exactly it works, but...
What?
How did you know about the pivoting? Or is that are you just guessing?
It's pure conjecture.
You know who's going to know? Nikki Grave.
Yeah, that's true. Would it surprise you? Like, would it completely shock you? I mean, it would shock you, but would you... Is it completely unbelievable that Te Kohe is involved in construction of these sets? I just sort of look at him and I go, he might be like the 3IC of the set. He's just got that vibe.
I'm under strict NDAs.
But also he was probably just passing by. You know, and then it's like, need a hand, boys?
Maybe it's his high vis that Dylan's wearing. Yeah.
I think it's interesting, just asking the questions.
Talofa lover, I'm Madeline Chapman, editor at The Spinoff. If you have the means, consider supporting our high-quality journalism by becoming a Spinoff member. Sign up now at thespinoff.co.nz/donate.
Kia ora, this is Toby Manhire, here to urge you to tune in to Gone by Lunchtime, a podcast with me, Annabelle Lee Mather and Ben Thomas, tackling the world of New Zealand politics, from policy to polling, from scandal to psychodrama. Listen to Gone by Lunchtime, brought to you by the Spinoff Podcast Network, wherever good pods are sold.
Kia ora, I'm Alex Casey, senior writer at The Spinoff. We wouldn't exist without the ongoing support of our generous members. If you're able to, you can make a donation at thespinoff.co.nz/donate.
Kumara in a box, bluffing challenge,
Don't watch
the return.
that. I refuse
you
to
didn't
watch that.
It?
No.
It's quite a classic CTI challenge, though.
I know, but I refuse. Look, hey, we've all got our lines in the sand.
And yours is half of the show.
Yeah, love it.
Siobhan really wanted to play the bluffing game, but she didn't want to be captain. So it was Courtney versus Cam. Is there a kumara in the box or not? There's a lot of what's in the box. It's like a big part of this show.
It's key content for it.
And she did. So she didn't. She did? She didn't. I can't remember.
She did not have the kumara in the box.
And she almost did like a double bluff playing
She
dumb.
double bluffed Cam.
Kept changing her answers. She's an actress. You know?
She did a great job.
She's fantastic talent.
She schooled us watching at home.
Yeah, she was very, very good.
There's no bung talent on the show.
No.
Like, anyone comes on, you're like, oh, hello.
Yeah.
Give it to me.
Back at Cam, that's where Jesse starts to spin his Harry Potter yarn. And Courtney's also clocking that she was the one who was going to go on that. She was the other one who was going to be taken on their overnight date. And she's like, I knew it. She got another clue as well that says she's able to save somebody who's going up for elimination, and she decides to share that with the team. So now they all know that Courtney's can potentially keep them safe. Smart.
Very smart.
She's a smart woman. She's a smart woman. Mercy card. Then we get another. This is the next episode now. We're jumping into the CTI music video. Duncan's favourite.
I feel like I've already done my bit. It's great.
Dr. Joel and the Sirens. CTI coming straight to you from the Northland.
What I really like, I like so many things about it, but particularly the wild, differing levels of intensity of the performances.
Yes.
Like Joel is obviously giving it his 120%, but like Cribby and I think Polina are just sort of like, well, I guess I'm doing this energy, and just having it all in the same frame is excellent.
And Karen was also there.
Karen was also there, and she did not look like this was her favourite gig.
I do like that they constantly are getting put in these situations where they might have to be involved in a parody rap. Like, they just have to decide.
You're just walking around like, oh,
situation.
Oh no, it's happening again.
You've got to be a team player.
The incredible casting choice of Dr. Joel. He's just like a walking improv rap liability, that guy.
Yeah. Just never know when he's going to go.
Like when you sign up, you can imagine all of these scenarios, and you have to think about your professional reputation and whether, like Mike King, you can't plausibly do anything ever again. But you don't think, I'm just going to have to be involved in lots of parody rap almost all the time.
Oh, dear. There was a very nice moment, actually. Shimpal, back at the other camp, was just talking about how lucky he felt to be chilling out by the ocean, working on his tan, and said he's very comfortable being alone. There was like a reference to, he's from Niue. He said when you're a minority within a minority, you learn to be very comfortable being alone. And I was just like,
where did that beautiful emotion come from?
We've just been rapping, and then we go straight to this, and then it's sort of, get in here, you lie. We're back to being fucking different.
Here's some Cadbury chocolate.
Yeah. It's just like the whiplash.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Everything.
But I kind of love that it's just all encompassing. Like it runs the gamut of emotions in 2 minutes. They did lipstick on their face for the charity challenge with tongs.
Amazing. I loved it. I actually watched that one.
I love Shimpao. I love how he just did like perfect Pennywise, like clown makeup beautifully without mentioning it. Dame Susan wrote CTI on her face backwards.
That's real.
And then looked at the camera and was just like, you can reverse this.
Susan.
Just the greatest. They do Wordle on the beach. That was another great moment. That I think it's also quite a timestamp because I've mentioned it, but I was there briefly.
Oh, really?
And this was peak Wordle time in New Zealand. Like everyone was going crazy. Everyone was playing Wordle like in the downtime on the media days. It was the big thing. There was the Wordle chats in the morning. The media team that I was with would share our Wordle score every morning in the group chat. And it's quite an interesting little moment because I feel like that's past now.
Yeah.
But Dame Suze took it to the beach and did giant manual
fraud.
Yeah. There's two people in this team that represent this word. She's just so spicy. She never misses a moment to like shade somebody.
It's I can't repeat enough that she was our race relations because like it boggles the mind because you can't flip that on and off. That is your whole personality. And someone in government was like, we need someone to heal the world. There's this former squash world champion who basically gets into it with everybody. And I think she's the one.
She won't stop talking about peep shows.
Yeah, but she's filthy dirty.
I loved it. Joel did another coy approach of like, are we in an alliance? To Courtney. And Courtney just said, no. Very sad. But that's what happens when you do too many raps. People are frightened to be around you because they don't know when they're going to feature on a track.
I don't understand how he hasn't been eliminated just for that yet. Like, it's every time it's like Joel and someone else go into the elimination.
You know what though? Rindelorb for Masked Singer.
The masked rapper.
Yeah.
Next year.
We had another team's face off, the big pinball. Pinball for pillows this time. It was pillows and mattress prize. And I got a bit confused by this game. It was sort of like...
I had no idea how you won it.
I had no idea what was going on.
But I really wanted to play it as well because it was like slips catching practice.
What's it?
It's a cricket thing.
Oh, okay. So you had to biff a ball up and then your team had to keep catching it and put it back in the thing. I don't really know. But there was all this strategy happening where they were kind of holding for a certain amount of time and I don't really know why. But it was fine, I guess.
It looks fun. Again, somebody opened Celebrity Treasure Island World. And pay my money. Probably every day.
I did like, just Chisholm again. He's just so good at commentating these things.
Incredible.
I'm like, how do you even know what's going on? We know your eyes are sizzled to a crisp from last season. Those balls are tiny. You're miles away.
I think that's a first.
That was my favourite part of last season. That's such a
moving on.
Such a treasured memory for me.
And he had Jesse throws a dummy, another dummy, and one in the drink. Like it's just such a. He was just roasting everybody because it did look quite hard. They kept throwing them just off the thing completely. Tuhaka wins. Time to pick off one of the big boys. But who's going to go up? Who are the biggest boys?
It's true. TK.
TK was always. I mean, he's a real threat.
He's a real threat, especially with that pain threshold.
He can do it all. And so they put up Schmitty.
Schmitty versus TK.
And
drenched in possum blood.
Yeah.
It's a pretty gory scene, to be honest.
I love his confidence, which turned out to be founded. But he was like, this is a mental game, and I think I've got it over. An Olympian.
I know.
But also that he did.
That's the thing. That is the thing. Like he's an actress, right?
Yeah.
That's his job. And he's against an Olympian who is in medal-winning prime of his career. And Schmitty just crumbled.
Yeah.
I mean, that thing looked incredibly hard.
So they had to balance on like increasingly small sort of spikes while holding up 2 big buckets of sand, and you weren't allowed to let the sand drop. And they were up there for
an hour
or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, going to increasingly spiky spikes.
TK had to go and ask his wife permission to
he
win
went to
again.
another terrestrial plane.
Te Kohe is an actor, but he also is a professional trainer. A bunch of other things I think that he does in his life that really shape him to take down Olympians at challenges like this.
I also think the idea that you might possibly take down an Olympian would give you some mad strength. But also you just have to be that dude. Like, it was an amazing thing. I mean, I think Dylan made strategic errors where he was trying to sort of shift around and then he got caught where he basically had 2 fingers on a bit of rope, which was just not survivable. So I would like to see them do a best of 3 kind of thing. But fundamentally, that happened. Like, Olympian who would do maddest conditioning stuff to be... and been by basically what is a swole civilian. Like that. I don't understand it.
Is TK like I feel like he's like a mindset guy, like a Richie Barnett, how he was always like...
I don't know him personally. I've got a lot of mutual friends, but he strikes me as that kind of person. Yeah, he goes into the mental palace when he needs to.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of reservoirs he can pull on.
Wim Hof vibes.
Cool way.
Probably.
That's that thing
Iceman.
that when you do the ice baths and the weird breathing.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Poor Dylan.
He looked really sad and kind of a bit embarrassed.
Yeah. And I felt like, and Siobhan was like, oh, he's so cute. And everyone was just like, oh, I'm trying to like cheer him on, but you don't want to distract him. But then it's also this weird thing where I'm like, he's an Olympian.
He's got a gold medal. He's fine.
He's at work right now. You know,
yeah.
This is fine.
I feel like
just so cute.
Yeah, I think that there's going to be a lot of people filing adoption papers for a large adult son at the back of this.
At the big boy adoption agency. Another bit of filth from Dame Suze was she's like, massage Dylan, I'll give you a massage. I'll even suck your toes.
Oh no, suck your toes. What was that? I forgot about that.
And that might have been what broke him, to be honest.
Do you think he threw it?
Yeah,
because he was like, how do I stop this?
It would be scary to know that at any moment Dame Suze could be there at the base of your bed.
A Devoy always pays her debts.
So Dylan went home. We got the emotional eulogy again from Chizzo. Dylan, you've been a ball of energy from start to finish. That's true. In high vis. We loved him. I didn't know who this man was.
I watched him win his medal, and I was obsessed with him at that time. So this was very exciting to me. But you just had no information.
Nothing. I had nothing.
You'd never seen him bounce on a tramp.
I'd never seen him bounce on a tramp before.
Crazy. Look that shit up.
And now there's 13 people left. We're halfway through.
I'm gonna miss this.
Yeah, there's still a lot to go. Thank God.
Yeah.
And we're onto the block.
Oh.
Wow. Can you play it? Do we have like a fart soundboard?
Yeah. There we go.
Could you like jam on a fart soundboard and make like a little tune?
That's what we're hearing right now.
No, but farts. It's Best House Week. Do not get that confused with the auction. This is the week before the auction, where they have to just do some touch-ups.
I don't know, man. I'm really struggling to even say any words.
Yeah.
This show just sucks.
I do feel like they had to also cram in quite a bit of partner content. Like there was a lot of
they'll make some make goods.
Like, oh, we've got to open realestate.co.nz and check our listings, and we've got to use that Yale app.
Green Gorilla sometimes recycles 70% of your stuff, but almost never.
Yeah, they all just had little things to do. Replace the rug.
Yeah.
Paint the cedar. Move the chair half a metre.
Declutter. Declutter.
So, did anything interesting? The most interesting thing was the mouse, to be fair.
Which maybe was a plant.
Maybe it was a plant. We know it's been done before.
Yeah.
On the ridges, way back when. They threw a stage mouse into the middle of the kitchen when things were getting a bit boring.
Where can you read about this scandal?
I think you read about it on thespinoff.com.
That's
Is
true.
it better to go.com or .co?
I think it's both the same, but I think not enough people know about a huge whale purchase in 2014 of the .com URL.
So Chloe and Ben had a mouse in the house. Racing, doing crazy laps.
That's a well-trained mouse. I think that's an Olympian.
It's a circus mouse.
Yes.
It knows its way. I've never seen a mouse move like that.
The laps thing was...
It was weird. Maybe it was a robot. Did you know?
I didn't watch the blog.
No, good lad.
But I feel like if someone was to know about mouse movement, it's this man in the corner. You know?
Yeah. We're starting to post the daylit one. I feel like the Te Kohe myth is... It's... You took umbrage earlier. I'm saying the myth has been burnished. It's good to bring out our 18th century. That's how you engage young people.
It's true. I was really worried that they were going to drop the bed on the mouse.
Yeah.
They lifted the bed up completely, trying to get the mouse, and then they actually threw the bed over and dented the wall, which was very funny. And then they had to go get the putty.
Oh, it's just in a bad mood. The thing that summed it up for me was, ironically, one of the best things that happened on this cursed episode was like, Stacey talking to the camera, doing a great piece to camera as she left the house and then shut the door. And it's like, the reason this season has been boring is you're all TV professionals who know exactly what to do and not to do, therefore no chance of drama. Like you can't have redemption. It shouldn't be a thing. Like it has to be people encountering stuff they've never encountered before. Otherwise they can just regulate themselves. And yeah, it's just, it's a no from me.
Okay, Jason. Marie made just like an insane amount of mini pies and things for the morning. Like, they should not have this much time.
No.
She should not be able to make this like 3-tier gâteau to give to Quinn to put in their house. What are they doing?
No.
You know?
No. I mean, Marie is lovely.
Oh, the nicest.
I want the best for her.
Yeah.
Put her on Celebrity Treasure Island, you know? Lovely person. But no, not in a house.
Quinn did a flip on their tramp.
That was impressive.
I'd like to see Schmidt's take on that, to be fair.
He'd probably do it better on.
Yeah.
He's really good. I cannot stress this enough how good at bouncing on a tramp he is.
I've still never seen it. I should are the clips. I should watch the Olympics, shouldn't I?
Check it up right now
on YouTube.
We do a live react.
Oh, this is
He did a full double front flip on those little rebounders that they had for that one challenge.
Do you think the Olympics?
He is up taller than the roof of this building off the tramp. It's mad.
Schmidt Dylan. Okay, this is only 1:20.
Yeah. This is like when Max Key watched the Paul Williams parody.
Man. Shit. He's going so high. Oh my God. Okay, this is such bad podcasting. But I can tell you right now, that looks like 3 stories to me.
Right?
Oh my God, he's so graceful. Look at his pointed toes.
Believe me, I do.
Oh my God. Oh my God. How would this man ever just get by on land? That's amazing. Did he win a gold?
A bronze, but I think it should have been gold. But as a well-known trampoline critic.
Oh my God. He's so cute. He's proud of himself. Difficulty, 17. Execution, 16. Flight, 16. HD, what does that mean? Is that... Oh, no. I want to know how high you got. We need to go to Uptown Bounce with Dylan Schmidt.
Well, we actually do. That's content. That's copyright the spin-off.
That's copyright. No one else can do that. If you work for a trampoline company, get in touch. They went for a flash dinner at Masu.
Everything was sponsored.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine.
It's fine.
But it's the hokey integration. I want them to be like full CTI, like, you know, like eyeball the camera, have some fun with it.
I feel like they do get there sometimes. Chloe and Ben are quite begrudging when they do.
Yeah, they're definitely giving it some shade, like, you are not being paid enough per diems to show this stuff.
Chloe and Ben won Best House. I don't know what they get. A trophy, a title. Or do they get cash?
They get 7K off their reserve.
And it puts them in a... Oh, sorry. Sorry.
No.
Can you see that?
Oh, I can now. Sanitize your hand. And tag your flatties.
It's Rent Week. Oh, no, it's not even Rent Week anymore.
But it was Rent Week last week on the spin-off. If you like content...
Go back and look at Rent Week. Chloe and Ben won. The auction's next week.
Oh.
Thanks, I hear.
What do you get for the lady who has nothing? The cleaner.
I'm crying. We have 1 week to go. The auctions are coming. More information from Nikki Grave as it comes to hand.
Or disinformation from Nikki Grave, if you will. Yeah, I feel bad because both Jane and I have just like abandoned you to do a monopod for the finale.
It's alright. I'll get Stuart in.
Yeah.
Stuart's been watching. Stuart loves the block.
Still,
yeah.
Wow.
He's a blockaholic.
Blockhead.
Do you have any predictions? Do you care? What do you think's going to happen? You know about money and things.
I think I've got a sneaky. Well, no, but I mean, Ben. It depends on. Obviously, it all depends on the reserves. But I think Quinn and Ben are like low key got a real good shot. Like their position is actually just really, really good. But Ben and Chloe's is actually, when you saw the whole thing, you're like, that's actually an interesting house, whereas like Marie and James, for example, as Jason said, just super on trend, which will be very broad and appealing. But I think was it Shelley said that there'll be an emotional kind of I must have this thing for Chloe and Ben. So I do think they're probably going to take it home.
And they've got the telly that turns around to watch TikToks, which is something that I've only very recently done for the first time at Ashley Bogle's house, of course. We watched the Harry Styles conspiracy. Have you heard about this? That Harry Styles is bald?
Whoa.
Completely bald and wears a full hairpiece.
Whoa.
And we were watching TikToks about it on her television. And I was like, God, this is the moment where you need the TV to turn so you can watch.
But she's got one of those, doesn't she?
She has a frame, but not a turning.
Not a turning frame. I think I might have just bought a turning frame.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, I've got some TikToks for you to watch.
Thank God.
And that's us, I think. We're at the end of another wonderful podcast. Thank you all for being here.
We did really well.
I think so.
Yeah, nice
Thank
work,
you
guys.
to our hair for,
the king.
Yeah, for everything.
Absolute pleasure. Miss you, Jane.
Miss you, Jane.
Miss you, Jane.
We'll miss you, Duncan. We'll be back.
Yeah.
Me and I here, at least. We'll be
Yeah,
back next
we'll be
week
kicking
with
it.
a myriad of interesting guests, maybe. Might be a beagle.
Might be a stage mouse.
Goodbye.
Do you find it hard staying optimistic with all the financial news in the media? I'm Bernard Hickey, and on my podcast, When the Facts Change, I'm here to help you navigate the ever-changing landscape of economics in Aotearoa. So join the conversation every Friday on When the Facts Change, brought to you by the Spin-Off Podcast Network in partnership with KiwiBet.
Kia ora e te iwi, Te Aihe Butler here, podcast manager at The Spin-Off. If you enjoy listening to our podcasts, consider supporting our mahi by signing up to become a Spin-Off member at thespinoff.co.nz/donate.
The Spin-Off Podcast Network.